So we started seeing Japanese publishers pull out from PlayStation. First off, it started with Galgun Returns, and then Abyss of the Sacrifice. Well, now another publisher has left, as Upper's PS4 release has been canceled. So it looks like Japanese developers are giving Sony the finger. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. When it comes to Sony, we have been noticing a bunch of Japanese publishers have been leaving their platform. They've either been putting their games on PC or they've been putting them on the Switch and going to Xbox also. And, they're just jumping ship from PlayStation. Now, one big thing was that PlayStation years ago, back in 2016, they moved their headquarters to California, which when that started happening, they started implementing new policies that were just absolutely terrible, and we've seen them be absolute trash ever since, like how they censor anime games. And then of course, when it comes down to it, it's okay if they don't censor their own games if they have certain spicy scenes, but when it comes to anime characters showing off their breast or something, oh no, they gotta censor that, a sexy woman bad. You know what I mean? So of course, when you look at anime games though, the importance of this is that look at Genshin Impact. And that is a game I've got to get a hold of. I haven't even gotten to it yet. Been so busy with a lot of other things in my life. But when you come down to it and look at this, Genshin Impact earned over $100 million within the first 2 weeks. Now, anime games, tons of people love them. When it comes to anime fans, yeah, people jump on board for that. And when it came to the PS Vita, for example, PS Vita was saved basically because of all the anime games that they had going for it. And, which, if you recall, what did Sony want to do? They wanted to drop it, but the anime games were making money on it. So look at this. Despite having only released 2 weeks ago, we've learned Genshin Impact has earned over $100 million in total sales. Now, see, that is fantastic. Within your first 2 weeks, that's very telling. And, think of it as is that with Sony and what they're doing, with their censorship policies, well, people are not a fan of that. They want what they're supposed to be getting. A game that's delivered to you, that's not censored, no cut content. And that's been happening because of PlayStation, at least on the PlayStation platform. And this goes to my next point. When you look at Japan and their initial Xbox Series X and S pre-orders selling out so swiftly, when in the past you look at the Xbox One, it didn't sell well in Japan. It didn't even make up 1% of the sales. That was very, very poor in terms of sales. But things might be changing because, possibly, of anime games also being on the Xbox Series X and S, then supposedly they're not going to be censored there. And, when you look at what's gone on with PlayStation in the past, they ruined Senran Kagura. I've brought this up multiple times, but you look at it, fans have always enjoyed Senran Kagura, and then to see the game get completely neutered by Sony because of their censorship policy, and yet you have the PC and you have the Switch, which it's funny because Nintendo has had terrible censorship in the past. Well, look at it. They're not even censoring things anymore. It's a 180. You look at Aokana, for example. Aokana also censored on the PS4. And, this is just another reason to not support Sony, because if they're going to do this, well, who wants a censored product? Am I right? People want the product the way it's supposed to be. They don't want things to be cut from it. And then, of course, P-Cube also had a statement when it came to this. And this is what they stated. We have recently received many requests for clarification around the potential of scene modification on our upcoming visual novel release, Aokana 4 Rhythm Across the Blue. These changes apply to the PlayStation 4 only and contain amendments to a selection of images and text found in the game. This includes 4 scenes which have been modified and 3 scenes which have been removed completely. Many thanks to our fans and community for their continued support of our releases. You see, here's the thing. Nobody wants any of their games to be censored. And I think that more developers are starting to see this, because with more developers starting to leave, see, here's the thing. When they have to censor or cut things out, that also costs them money. That is expenses on them, so they have to cut it to fit the values of the company like Sony, for example. Well, it seems like another publisher has left, because Uppers is no longer in development for PS4 in US and EU. Find out more here. Well, it looks like they don't want to alter their game, and it's very telling, because when you look at it, a game that started on PS Vita back in 2016, because that's when Upper started, well, it's now jumping ship also. I mean, this isn't looking good for Sony at all. And when you look at it, the more that they want things to change, you can see that it's not just the fans that don't want this, but it seems like these publishers are also on the same page. They don't want to have to change their content either. Uppers, PlayStation 4 Europe. Xseed Games and Marvelous Europe's Uppers for PlayStation 4 has been canceled. Yes, you read it right. According to Gematsu, a representative from Xseed Games reveals that the game is no longer in development for PS4 in Europe and North America. Yeah, because people don't want their game to be censored, clearly. If you can still remember, 2 years ago it was announced that the game will launch for PS4 in North America and Europe. Meanwhile, the game will still launch for PC this month. Now, the game Uppers itself, it has a lot of fan service in it. So, of course, when it comes to Sony, what are they going to do? They're going to censor it. Galgun Returns is on every platform but PlayStation 5. It is not going to be on PlayStation 5, despite the fact that it was on PS3 at one point. And then, of course, you have Abyss of the Sacrifice, which will be on the Nintendo Switch and PC, which, hilariously enough, it also started on the PlayStation. So yet again, we see more and more developers jumping ship. And now to see Uppers jump this ship as well, it's very telling. And when you go back to June of this year, whenever there was an insider who revealed information on what has been going on, when they were talking about the censorship policy against anime, and as you can tell, as time has gone on, there has been more and more credit to this source, considering that what are we seeing? PlayStation is constantly censoring anime games. Fans are furious over this, and there's no reason for this censorship to happen, especially if Sony's going to live with that double standard lifestyle that they've been doing, where to them, whenever they had The Last of Us Part 2 and they had that spicy Abby scene, they were like, well, it's fine if we do it, but it's not okay if anime does, right? So, as you can tell, Japanese publishers, they are not for this. And we already know that they've been against censorship, so what are they doing? Well, they're doing the sensible thing. They are completely cutting ties with PlayStation. And, when you look at it, this goes back to where a mangaka, the Love Hina mangaka, had expressed concerns to the Japanese government of manga being regulated by overseas standards, praises Japan's freedom of expression. And this was about them trying to protect and ensure that their manga and anime does not get altered or censored in any way. And this does apply to games, because considering that you're seeing how the West has been trying to alter games, when you look at PlayStation, you look at how China has been trying to jump into anime themselves, which will also mean alterations and censorship. Well, of course, it makes sense that they're going to express concern, because when it comes down to it, anybody should be able to freely create their content however they please. And whenever you have someone coming in there to be like, oh, we have to regulate this, you can't create this because it doesn't fit our standards, well, of course, it's going to cause concern for how people do things. And this is why Japan themselves are starting to fight back, and this is their way of doing it. Their way of fighting back now, which is good to see, is that they're pushing away from companies like PlayStation that are going to alter or censor the content, which is very good to see that these Japanese publishers are fighting back this way. And, here's the thing, when it comes to the fans are going to go wherever these Japanese publishers go. And if they're able to get the game without it being edited or altered in any way or form, they're going to go there because they're going to get the content that they were promised. As to where PlayStation is going to trick the fans. And they're going to make them think that, oh, well, we got the product. And then, of course, in their minds, they're going to be like, they're not going to get it the way they thought, though. We'll still get the money and scam them all. That's PlayStation's thought process on this. They think that they can try to sell you the product. You think you're going to get it uncensored, but instead, PlayStation's going to alter it. And this is why fans are going to jump ship, because they're frustrated. They don't want content to be cut, and that's not how it should be. People should be getting what they were promised, not cut content. They should be getting the whole game. And, Japanese publishers, they're seeing PlayStation and Sony for what they really are. And I think in the end, this is going to really hurt Sony in the future, because since they want to, push their woke crap onto anime and they want to try to censor it, well, here's the thing. The fans of those publishers, wherever those publishers are going to go, they're not going to stop supporting them. They're going to continue to support those publishers, and they will leave Sony as well. So in the end, I think this is going to hurt Sony in the long run. I mean, that's my prediction on this. And, if Sony continues to lose these publishers, well, they're going to lose anime fans. And that's going to really hurt them in the long run. But I'm going to keep a close eye on this and give more updates on the situation as more things happen, because I'm sure more developers will probably leave. But anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you were new here, and make sure you were still subscribed, because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels. So make sure you were still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the newest videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on Discord. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow can always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.